Good morning and welcome to WGN-TV Political Report. I'm Paul Lisnek. Since this hour last week, Mike Madigan has found not one but two replacements in the Illinois House. Last Sunday, 26-year-old Eddie Kodat was plucked from the 13th Ward organization to become a first-time state lawmaker. But just 3 days later, Madigan asked Kodat to resign because of, and I quote, alleged questionable conduct. Well, for now, what exactly that conduct was really hasn't come to light. We don't know. But Democrats made quick work of forcing Kodat out. And so Angie Guerrero Cuellar was sworn in on Thursday. Cuellar, the first Latina to represent the Southwest Side District. She said she has long wanted to help represent her community.
My heart and my dedication is to the people and to the residents of this district. I'm a daughter of immigrants. My mom made a decision many years ago to come to this country not knowing what would be her future. Because this position is not about me, it's about her and the choices that she made and my dad made and my family.
Cuellar asked that her new constituents and colleagues in the House just listen to what she has to say. For his part, Mike Madigan all but refused to answer questions about the messy replacement process.
See, I'm not going to get into that. I'm just not going to speak to that. I'm anxious to move out of here and wish all of you a good day.
The former House Speaker and longest-serving lawmaker in Illinois slipped out the back door. Last week, Mike Madigan also quietly relinquished his last major piece of power, resigning as chairman of the Democratic Party of Illinois. Three major candidates have emerged to take his place. It's clear that the next head of the party will be a woman of color. Congresswoman Robin Kelly immediately threw her hat in the ring. 8th Ward Alderman Michelle Harris, who also serves as City Council floor leader, she's in the race. And State Senator Cristina Castro, recently been endorsed by Latinx lawmakers across all levels of government. Now, the race has caused a surprising split between the state's key political players. Tammy Duckworth joined Governor J.B. Pritzker in immediately endorsing Harris for the job. Senator Durbin backing Robin Kelly. They say there's no rift between them, just differences in opinion.
All three are excellent, and all three can lead our party effectively. We may have a difference of opinion of which may be the better among them, but there is, I think, a common belief that all three are excellent.
I just believe that we need great leadership for building the Democratic Party of Illinois, which really has been something that hasn't been done for a number of years. We have great opportunity to do Latino outreach to communities of color broadly. We need great leadership and we need forward momentum. And I'm very excited about the leadership that I think Michelle Harris will offer.
The Southside Alderwoman also has the backing of Congressman Danny Davis and Bobby Rush, but Representative Kelly has been touting her ability to connect statewide with a district that covers the city, suburbs, and rural areas. The party chair is chosen by a weighted vote within the State Central Committee. It has to happen within the next 3 weeks. A meeting could happen as early as tomorrow. In the meantime, party vice chair and Cook County Clerk Karen Yarborough has stepped into that top role. She's joining me this morning for more about what's next. Clerk Yarborough, thanks for joining me. I appreciate it.
Hey, my appreciation to you, Paul. What an exciting time to be a Democrat in Illinois.
It's an exciting time for those who watch politics. You know, let me just ask you, before we get to the party chair seat, I think a lot of people were a bit stunned to see, you know, Madigan make the appointment of Kodat. 3 days later, you got to go, a new replacement. Madigan doesn't make mistakes like that. You're not around for 50 years doing that. Any thoughts about what happened?
You know, there's been a lot of change in the legislature. There's a number of people at the front of the line these days. But I know that he has always been somebody who's been very, very thorough. So I think all of us were wondering, well, what happened here?
So there's obviously a lot of negativity that we hear a lot about Madigan. At the same time, he must have been doing something right for 50 years by producing supermajorities in the House frequently. And so how do you explain this love-hate relationship with a man you've known for a long time?
Well, I tend to look at results. And, you know, when you just said it best there, I mean, we have a supermajorities in the legislature. We have a Democratic governor. These things don't happen by osmosis. They happen because there's a lot of work that goes into doing this. And I think most people know that Mike Madigan has 24/7, 7 days a week. He has lived politics and government all of these years. And the proof is in the pudding. At the end of the day, I mean, I was just looking at a report today on the finances of the party. And the finances, back in 1998, the DPI federal account had $3,207 in it. 2020, we've got $3,294,000 there. Same thing with the non-federal account. They started out back in 1998, right before he was elected chairman, 195,000. We've got $1.9 million in the bank. These things don't happen by happen chance. It's methodical, and he's worked very, very hard, and we owe him a debt of gratitude.
So let's take a look at you for a moment. You're vice chair. You're now interim chair of the Democratic Party. I'm talking about, you heard me talk about all these other names. I haven't heard your name. This is your chance, Clerk Yarborough. You want to put your hat in the ring?
Thank you so much for that. That's very kind of you, Paul, but my hands are full and I've got enough hats, okay? But what I'm going to do is support the person that comes through this process, and then we're going to come together and hopefully build on what Michael Madigan has done for this state over the years. We don't want to lose momentum here. We've got midterms right around the corner. We have a brand new speaker in the Illinois House. We have a somewhat brand new Senate president. We have governors going into a midterm election. We got a lot of work to do.
So there's a split among the big names in the party, right? You heard me say Pritzker and Duckworth on one end and Durbin on another end. Is this bad news for a party about to enter an election season?
Not at all. Not at all. Just shows, how many great folks we have in the state of Illinois. I mean, when I look at who has stepped forward to run, I mean, here we have a Latina stepping forward. She's a rising star. I love Christina Castro. She's wonderful. I've served with Robin Kelly in the General Assembly, and I've worked with Michelle Harris over the years on the Cook County Central Committee. These are strong leaders. These are people who could take the reign. And let's talk about what we're really doing here. Somebody has to take the reins and guide us through these choppy waters that are in front of us. We have redistricting in front of us. We've got the midterms in front of us. There's a lot of work to be done, and we need a steady hand.
Pritzker said earlier in the week that he absolutely respects Robin Kelly, but he thinks Alderman Harris is the right person for this job. Robin Kelly, when it comes to money, has outdone everybody. Does that not matter when you've got, maybe the dollars that J.B. Pritzker has?
I think we're going to be okay on the money side. The governor has already said that he plans to help us build the party to be better, even better than what it is now. Now, we're not broke. And if you look across the United States, usually when there's change like this, it's because, they don't have any money, they're not winning any elections, all of those kinds of things. But we are really at a very good place here. And we need the right person for right now to guide us through these next few months. Now, we'll have an election again next year. So this will go through 2022. So for me, I'm looking at this, Paul, as a two-step. Right now, we need somebody to take the reins, and it's not going to be Karen Yarborough. And that person needs to guide us through this. And there's a number of things that I know we need at the state party as it relates to staffing. We need to really staff up, start using more social media, make sure that everybody gets an opportunity to learn how to use the van. I mean, there's so much to do. Yeah. And, we've had enough change. So this, the way I look at it, we just need somebody who understands all of these things and is ready to put their hands on the steering wheel to drive us through.
Well, let's talk about the steering wheel. Former clerk David Orr was on the show last week. He basically says Madigan got pushed out because of progressive values and a push in direction of the party. We can pretty much see who the leader is going to be, one of these three women of color. What does that tell us about the direction of the party going forward, and what advice do you have about the direction?
Listen, we've always been a big tent, and there are always divergent views of how to get things done. Now, we can't be all over the place, but we certainly want to be open, to other ideas. The fact that, we've got 3 women, oh my God, that is just so exciting to me. There was a time where we didn't have people, LGBT folks, in a caucus. They have a caucus now. There's a women's caucus. There's a Latin caucus. There's always been, I believe, a Black caucus. I mean, certainly there was one there when I was there. So it's just, I started this off by saying that it is an exciting time to be a Democrat. And while we have divergent views, you know what we want to do? We want to make sure we elect Democrats up and down the ticket.
All right. Vice Chair and current interim chair of the Democratic Party, Karen Yarborough, I gave you your chance to enter the race. You didn't take it. Thanks for your time.
Thank you, Paul.
All right, we're going to take our first break. Coming up next on WGN-TV Political Report, nearly $6,000 for just one day of work. Illinois Controller Susana Mendoza is trying to change a loophole state lawmakers have been using for years, and she joins me next. And later, Illinoisans won't hit the ballot box for another 13 months now, but already candidates at all levels of government are getting their messages out. We'll have more after this.